Manchester United doing Manchester United things. This isn't the new way, is it? Or is it? Wow. Hope everyone's well. Happy Sunday. My favourite show of the week. You know this. The Sunday night shows are always the ones that make me the happiest. I would say it's because I miss you all tremendously, but I was only with you 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago, where we watched the Manchester United and Fiorentina game. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's feeling happy and cheery. There has been news breaking today about a few people that we have been interested in. We'll go into it. We've got the Baleba news. We've got Donnarumma news. Sadly, we got Rasmus news, as much as heartbreaking for some people, me included, actually. A bit on Garnacho, and we've also got a bit on Sancho. Not that we really care about the latter very much. But, guys, how are we all feeling after yesterday's game? Because for me, yesterday had me worried. Had me worried, I can't lie. I am worried. I'm concerned that Manchester United are really considering going into the game against Arsenal with no striker up top. Is it too soon for Sesko to start? Is it? I'm not so sure. But before we do that, let's say hello to a few people. And if you are new, make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. The road to 2K is officially on, and we are doing very, very well with it. Giles says, look at that. Palace beat Liverpool for the Charity Shield. Yeah, I've got a bit to say about that. Ben, I have pinned that message up, don't worry, for the chat to see. So if you are interested in joining the 25-26 Premier League Fantasy League that we are doing, it's Dan United, and the league code is in there. Dan says, Scout says, down playing the Community Shield just because they lost. Honestly, man. Chappie, good to see you, my friend. I salute you. Mark, great to see you. I'm going to try. Dan and Jay, I'm going to say. I never rated the Community Shield, and I'm a Liverpool fan. Never said anything or knew about it as I was watching transfer news. Okay, that's fine. And big up to yourself, though, my friend. And yes, of course, it is on. It is on. Andy, good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing good. Everybody's saying shame about Liverpool. And Dan Anjay, I'm sorry if I've said that wrong, says, do you think Rasmus and Fraud Nacho should be sold? Yeah, well, we'll go into that in a bit, but you know my thoughts on that. And Carl, welcome, says, evening all, just popping in to say hi. Got a family situation going on, so hopping straight off. Have a good stream. Remember to like and subscribe. Thoughts and prayers. Hope everything's okay with you, Carl. And of course, Jordan, my main man, says this doesn't happen. What's going on? United actually making signings. United actually doing bits this transfer window. But anyway, let's get straight into it. So news broke today about Baleba. News broke about this guy. It seems like everything is ready to go with this transfer. The terms with the player and the agent, not a problem. Some reports are even saying that it's already done. It's just a case of if Manchester United can convince Brighton to allow them to sell us this fantastic footballer. Now, for me, I said to you the other day that I was 30%, then it dropped up a little bit to 50%. I am at this moment in time 50-50, and I'll tell you why. Manchester United this summer have prided themselves on being a team that will only go for a player who is interested in coming to the club. Facts. Absolute facts. We know this. We've said about this before. I just feel like this Baleba news has got stuff in it. I genuinely do. I genuinely feel like this is something that Manchester United are going to go and do. Now, we are on the 10th of August. We have got, it's 3 weeks tomorrow until the transfer window slams shut. We've been used to Manchester. We've seen both sides of the coin with Manchester United this season. We saw the Cunha and the Sesko deals go bang, done. Don't even think about it. We're getting them done. We saw the Brian deal go further and further and further. Well, the good thing about Baleba is we know we're not going to have to wait ridiculous amounts of time for this because there is no time. It's as simple as that. There are reports from several people here. So we got Indicator have said that apparently Carlos Baleba has made his intentions clear. He's verbally asked Brighton to let him move on to United. And it gets even more interesting because Baleba's agent has given the thumbs up on personal terms, offered if, again, Brighton allow it to happen this summer. Now, Brighton at this moment will not move from that 100 million, and they shouldn't do. This is one of their best players. This is one of their best players. But the key thing here, and Ross Harwood's also said the same thing, is that personal terms are done. Manchester United don't do this. Like, I'm still amazed and I'm still in awe of this transfer window, how we are going out there and getting everything done so quick. He goes on to say that the player is expressing wish to leave Brighton to come to Manchester United, and confidence, and this is key, confidence is now high on this deal, with all parties feeling it would be best for all involved for it to go ahead. Now, look, Brighton are not going to come out and say, well, we'll let him go. Of course they're not. He is a sellable asset. He's a big sellable asset. But I liken this to every other deal like this. I was on Maz's show, the Brighton fan from Football's 12th Man, just before this one, and he took the words right out of my mouth. He said that Brighton was it last summer or the summer before? I think it was last. Anyway, when Caicedo was moving, they come out and said, no, we're not letting him go. 11 days later, gone. This could ramp up extremely quickly, folks, okay? And we have gone from the 1st of July looking and thinking this team's going to absolutely screw us. Cunha's going to be absolutely fuming he's joined this club. All of a sudden, the look of Manchester United, it turns into one that rival clubs are starting to respect. Now, there is going to be the news, and I saw this, and I didn't read too much into it. But again, with there being the move potential, it's Manchester United. Carlos Baleba did miss Brighton's last pre-season friendly game against Wolfsburg. Now, the club have reported it's due to a minor knee injury sustained in training after their friendly against Stoke, with the manager actually confirming this. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. These sorts of things happen, don't they? Despite speculation about a potential transfer to United, reports clarify that his absence may have been due to injury. But it gets you thinking, doesn't it? It gets you thinking, is this something that's just starting to roll on? And I go back to what I said before, Manchester United will only go for players that are interested in coming. Let's go through some of your comments, by the way. Let's not miss them out. Big up to Andreas. Good to see you, my man. Moxie, yes, of course, the OG in the house. And make sure that everybody subscribes. Feeling glad all over. That's what we like to hear on a Sunday. Ben, great to see you in the chat, mate. We had a good night with Kev last night, didn't we? And Ames says, happy Sunday to you, my friend, Dan. And happy Sunday to you, my friend, as well. And Chappie says, disappointed and concerned for the coming season. I need a bit more context there, Chappie. I need a bit more context as to why you're disappointed and concerned. Subra, in the house, good to see you. And as the main man here says, make sure you like and subscribe. Balaji says, Baleba is the name we surely want to hear, has done deal. Just remember these words. And then I saw her face. Now we're all Balebas. That's what we want to say. That's what we want to hear, folks. And I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, let me know. But Dananjay says, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm worried about the coming season. We need a left winger. Gakpo should be sold, not good enough, and a centre-back is needed. Do you know something? I'm not going to dwell on Liverpool too much. I'm not going to dwell on them too much. But if I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm not concerned, you know. It's the Charity Shield. I've seen teams lose the Charity Shield and go on and win the Premier League. It's a glorified friendly, I will say that. I've always said that. It's not one that's really bothered me too much. And look at that. Mrs. Robinson is allowing herself to be in all our presence today. Good to see you, wifey. Well, you're downstairs, aren't you? And I'm not in the doghouse today, guys, as well. Very much a good day in the Robinson household. Andy says, Baleba is not going. We might just get it done. It might go, not going away. It isn't. And this is the thing, Andy. I agree with this. This news keeps just hanging around. It's not the type of news that is dropped and then a month later everyone's going, do you remember when we were linked to Baleba? That was fucking lol. It's not, is it? It seems to be coming back and forwards. So it's a positive time to be a Manchester United fan off the field. All of the big stuff comes on Sunday, a week today, and we will either be sat here saying Sesko's just absolutely battered Arsenal, or we'll be sat here going, holy fuck. We've just been battered. Do you know what I mean? We are getting down to the business end now. All of the pre-season's done. All of the backroom stuff, all the positivity, all the photos of Xerxes doing a madness, all of the photos of Lissandro Martinez. It means nothing now. It means absolutely nothing. Because a week from today, we'll have played our first game in the Premier League. Moxie says, regarding yesterday's friendly, I'm definitely worried for the Arsenal game. If Amorim goes with Casemiro and Bruno in the midfield and Mount, even though he played well as one of the front three. we'll talk about that because I do think we need to talk about the friendly yesterday. I do think there's a few things that need to be said. I'm so fucking hot, by the way. Dananjay says, Dan, can you do a panel show on a weekday with one of the guys from Saeed's Mandem talk show? I'm not big enough yet, Dananjay. I'm not big enough. One day. Chappie says the way we played yesterday, fair. And as Ben says, hit the likes and subscribe all. And Chappie there says, evening, Mrs. Robinson. So, yeah, I do want to give you a bit of sobering analysis here. Because for all the posters of me sat here saying this could happen, Baleba could come. Ornstein obviously doing a David Ornstein. And let's be honest, this guy has got everything bang on this summer. He has been incredible. He has actually said that Brighton have no intention to sanction his sale in the summer of 2025. I think they would like and have made it clear in these conversations that they'd like to keep him for another year. Here's why I think Manchester United have to go balls deep into this transfer. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Manchester United sit there and go, okay, yeah, we'll go away. Fair enough. You don't want to sell. No problem. Baleba then has an incredible season. And then you get the Liverpools. You get the Cities with Rodri being so close to the end of his career there, I think. You have Arsenal probably coming back in. Chelsea probably come back in. Madrid's come in there. Manchester United absolutely have to get this deal done this summer. Because if they don't, they will not get this done. They absolutely will not get this done. We, for some strange reason, as a club, seem to have a free hit here at one of the most promising, incredibly talented, ceiling so high it wouldn't fit in the fucking tallest building in Dubai ceiling here. We have that link with this kid, and we're the only ones going for it. So Manchester United have to get it done. Manchester United have to go there and get this deal done this summer. And look, again, I'll repeat this to you. A week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, we wouldn't have thought this was possible. There were people in the chat saying, please get me Baleba, and I was laughing at them. I was going, this isn't FIFA, but Manchester United seem to be doing the right things. Now, the thing for me that makes it all the more reason that we signed this player is I've watched this player last season. I watched him because when I see these young, talented players, Mrs. Robinson will tell you, I watch so much football to my detriment. This guy receiving the ball from the back, the confidence he has to turn with that ball and initiate an attack is absolutely, it's world class. Let's look at what we've had to deal with. Casemiro, when the ball comes to him, I see this so often. When he gets the ball played into him, he absolutely wellies the ball at someone. Like there's no control there. Ugarte, it's like a hot potato. He's like, no, I don't fucking want it. I don't fucking want it. Fucking you have it. Ugarte is great at the tackles. Ugarte is great at smashing into players. As a ball-playing midfielder, there is that link from the defence to us attacking. He's absolute pish, okay? So this deal absolutely gets done. And I do want to quell another rumour that I saw today. There was reports that apparently Ruben Amorim has said that he believes Carlos Baleba possesses the capabilities to forge a league-leading midfield partnership with Kobbie Mainoo. Guys, file that under bullshit. If that was true, he would have sold Bruno Fernandes and this deal would have been looked at a lot sooner. Bruno Fernandes is going to start in that central midfield, whether we like it or whether we lump it, a heck of a lot this season. The only times that he won't play in there will be when Brian Mbeumo is away at the Africa Cup of Nations, or if there's any injuries, meaning he gets pushed forwards. Don't rest on that. Please don't rest on that because I think it's ill-formed for anybody to say that we're looking at building this midfield of Mainoo and Baleba. Now, the thing I would say, I think Baleba and Mainoo in the next 2-3 years, and we haven't even got Baleba yet, but that's a midfield that you could look at and go, well, Bruno would be pushing 33, 34. Yeah, that's something that looks like they could grow together. But at the moment, do not look at that and think that's the way it's going to go because I absolutely disagree with that statement. No, I wouldn't sign Tielemans. Nah, I'm not in for Tielemans. Nah, not for me. Not for me. And he's not the type of player we're looking for anyway. James Breen, good to see you, my man, says Sesko should start a good lead, then change. Okay, fair. Isaac, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. I'm well. I'm absolutely buzzing. It's Sunday night show, guys. Smash a like on the video for this as well. It's Sunday nights. This is the best show of the week for me. Absolutely love it. Andy says, we still need to be a bit level-headed. These players need to settle down and learn the system. We know it could be a rocky road ahead. absolutely true. If anything you saw yesterday told you anything about the season ahead, it's this. Manchester United are not always going to be able to play the 11 that they want to play week in, week out. Regardless of us not having European football, we are not going to be able to do that. We are still going to have to suffer in some games. I'm seeing some United fans saying, get Baleba, we'll challenge for the title. No, don't do that. Don't do that. If we get Baleba, then yeah, I think we could sneak into 5th place for Champions League. But there's a heck of a lot of work to be done at Manchester United at the moment. Did I hear Goldbridge on United stand saying he wants Donnarumma? That's just classic Goldbridge, though. It's just classic Goldbridge. It's like he's playing FIFA. You all know my thoughts. We'll go into Donnarumma in a bit. In fact, I'm going to mark that message because I want to come back to that in a sec. Ahmed says, good to see you, Ahmed, by the way. Last 2 games haven't been great, mate. I'm not sure about this system. I hope I'm proved wrong. That's very, very true. Balaji says, remember, we lost Camavinga to Madrid because we were not serious about the transfer that year. We need to be smart about Baleba. And that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true, guys. Manchester United cannot miss out on this midfielder. They cannot afford to, because Baleba, believe it or not, I'm trying to say that 3 times fast, is going to be a big part of how our midfield functions. We know that Casemiro, Mainu, and Ugarte do not work in that midfield 2 with Bruno Fernandes. They've got to get it done. They've got to get it done. Bunch of kids running out the fucking window there. They have to get this done. Chappie says, don't think Bruno or Casemiro will fit in if Baleba signs. Well, this is a conversation that we can actually have in the next 2 or 3 months. If Baleba signs, that will be a conversation we'll absolutely be able to look at, because Bruno Fernandes, whether he likes it or not, is nearing the end of his career at Manchester United. He's got, 2 years, 3 years maybe left? He's 31. He's coming to the end. There will be change in that midfield in the next 2 years, regardless. Isaac, you meant Brent. This is fun fact. Goldbridge grew up in my village. He only lives about 30 minutes from me, to be fair. Isaac, how old are you then? Because I didn't think he was that old. Donnarumma should be done now. It's an easy no-brainer to do. I don't think 250k is much for the caliber of Donnarumma. Yes, I agree with that, Mike. In fact, we'll go on to the Donnarumma news now, because there's a few of you mentioning Donnarumma, and I agree we need to get Baleba absolutely as well. The Donnarumma news. People are getting so excited about this. You know my thoughts on this, chat. You know my thoughts. I don't want Donnarumma. I'll say it now. You can cuss me. I can imagine half of you now going, what? I don't want him. I think he upsets what we're trying to do. I genuinely do. If we could get him in and he has his wages at 200 grand a week, like who was it that said it? It was Isaac, actually. Was it Isaac that said that? No, I got the wrong one there. So somebody said 200k a week. If we could get him in for 200k a week, absolutely fine. But there is no chance that Donnarumma comes to Manchester United and drops his wage from PSG. There's no chance. Everything that I've read from the big boys in the journalism world completely backs that up. Let me go down to what I've got about him. So Fabrizio Romano came out and said, I can guarantee you still nothing is advanced, still nothing is concrete. Paris Saint-Germain wants important money to sell Donnarumma this year. Many questions on Manchester United, but guys, Manchester United still have to decide whether they want to try and find a goalkeeper who is for the future, which again would be Lammens, or for the present, like a Donnarumma or an Emi Martinez. United still need to make an internal decision on goalkeeper in that case. I'm going to put this to you guys. In fact, we haven't done a poll yet. Let me ask you this question. Because people still ask about money. Who would you rather sign? Okay, and I'd be interested to see this one. Donnarumma, or Baleba? Which one is more important to you, chat? Which one is more important to you all? Simple question. Who is more important, Baleba or Donnarumma? 300k a week. 300k. It's just too much money. It's too much money. And look who's in the house. It's me, Everest, one of the OGs. Big up, everyone. Like the stream. 100 people here. Yes. And remember, we are pushing for the big 1,100. We are pushing, right? So let's make sure, if you're new in the building, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And Neil, and do you know something? Neil, I like this comment. Neil, I like this comment. I think this is probably one of the best comments I've seen on streams, in the tabloids, on Twitter. I think this is quality. I'm relaxed about it. If he doesn't want to fit in with the structure, then go and get Lammens. That is absolutely spot on. If Donnarumma really wants Manchester United, and I go back to this whole summer transfer window that we are only going for people that want to play for the club, well, if he wants to fit into the wage structure, then come. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely come. 26 years old, still big part of his career ahead. He's won so much already. I'd be happy with that. But what I don't want to see is a situation where United are paying a goalkeeper 300 grand a week, 350 grand a week. It just shouldn't be the way it's done. It absolutely shouldn't be the way it's done. Steve said, in terms of Donnarumma, if we get him, it will be a lower wage and a massive signing-on fee for his pocket, but PSG have brought another goalkeeper. They want him out. But again, what I will say with this is Manchester United, I think we all should be prepared for this. He is happy to stay at PSG for a season, by the way. He said, yeah, I'll stay. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I couldn't give a. I don't care. I can stay here. So I don't feel the confidence that I feel with Baleba that I do with Donnarumma, and nor should I. I've said from the start, go out and get Lammens. I'm going to stick with that. I mean, look what happened when I said go out and get Watkins. That went well, didn't it? So maybe I'm just doing reverse psychology there. maybe not. Owalobi says, good evening to you, my friend. Good evening. And as Mrs. Robinson says, make sure you're hitting the likes. We are on 38 likes and there's 100 in here. I want to see 50 likes. Let's hit those buttons right now and get the 50 likes, please. That would be phenomenal. Balaji says, let's see who gets the best signing between Sesko and Gyökeres. This, by the way, this comment is great, Balaji, because it has already fucking started. Sky Sports have already done it. The players, it's Sesko against Gyökeres, both linked with each other's clubs. Who will come out on top? Honestly, like the marketing team for Sky must be fucking stupid, because that was coming a mile off. I couldn't give a rat's arse about it being the rivals about going to each other club. The only thing I care about is on Sunday, Sesko hits the ground running, gets us a couple of goals, and we beat Arsenal. Lammens all day for me. We didn't do that with De Gea for 100 grand a week. Andy makes a fucking brilliant comment there. And Danaje says, Dan, are you going to be with Potts on his Let's Talk Ball show? Do you know something? Every day I do this. I check my phone because I look on YouTube and see his shows. I'm never on them. No, I don't know what I've done. I'm only joking. I think he's got plans. I think he's got plans to utilise me in some aspect. And Ahmed says, do you think we will have a good season? Well, Ahmed, you've actually curtailed it into a great segue there. And we're going to talk. Let me just run through these comments. And I do want to talk about yesterday and what it means for the season ahead. PSG will apparently have Chevalier as their first keeper, with Donnarumma being on the bench. But he may not care, as he will get his pay. And as It's Me Everest says here, he is Italy's number one. He doesn't need to play. He's not worried about his place. He's not worried about his place at all. And welcome, Siak. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you in the building. Mike, I love that name, Mike Willie. I feel like getting Donnarumma will come back to bite us in the future. Smash a like for this man's fucking comment there. I think so too. I think we've got so many issues coming if we sign him. It could disrupt all of the wages that we've done with the players. Players coming and hang on a minute, how's he on 350 grand a week? I've just signed here for 150. Big problems. Andreas says we should go in for a loan offer on Donnarumma with plus a buy obligation. That's not a bad comment, I suppose. And Z, big up yourself. Good to see you, my man. With this squad, should be in the top 6, says Z. And big up yourself. Neil says, do you still think we need someone who can find those forward passes like Stella Wharton to partner Baleba? No, because we've got him next to him. Look, Bruno Fernandes, we saw it yesterday, still spraying balls all over the place. I've got no concerns about Bruno hitting passes. I think he would be the deep line playmaker, with Baleba being the guy that does all the muscle work. Dan United will be on the mid to low table shows next year. Oi, come on now. Let's not do that. Let's not fucking do that. Dan, I think what Andy said earlier worries me. If we do get Baleba and the team don't perform as well as we think, 2 months could go by and I'll worry for Amorim. Look, Manchester United have done all the right things behind the scenes this season. They have, and we'll go into what I was discussing. Welcome, Niche fan, by the way, and I have loads, to be fair, Siat, loads and loads and loads. Manchester United have done everything right behind the scenes. They have. The only thing that they failed on is getting players out of this fucking club. That's the only thing that we failed on this season. We've done the right things in the transfer market. We've brought in 4 players, if you include Leon, 4 players that I think better the team immensely. However, we now still don't know the first 11 for Manchester United. We'd like to think we do, but yesterday just completely threw that up in the air. Threw it up in the air. For us to start yesterday without a striker, and by the way, I said to you all yesterday, remember, if Rasmus Højlund doesn't come on, we will not be seeing Rasmus Højlund this season. And he didn't come on. And now we've seen the reports, which I'll go into in a bit. But what we saw yesterday against Fiorentina, and Fiorentina aren't the best in the world, not the best in Italy. What we saw was us try to play with a false 9, and it absolutely fell flat on its fucking arse. We had nothing up there. The defending for the goal from the set pieces was a worry, because you can't really blame that on defence. You can't really blame that on being pulled apart in midfield. That is a dead ball situation that we should be completely well adapted to handling. But the manner in which the goal was conceded said to me there was so much naivety in that setup that it's terrifying. Arsenal, we all know on Sunday, Arsenal, they've got a statue of their fucking set piece football coach outside the stadium. You know, they've got everything they demand on set pieces. The set pieces let me down. I thought the midfield 2 didn't work. As much as Cassie tried his hardest, bless his heart, still looked out of it. And us playing without a recognised striker up top made us look bang average. Now, again, we can go back to what we were saying last season, that having Rasmus up top was like we didn't have a striker. But I've seen us play with Rasmus up top in pre-season, and I've seen us look a lot more healthier, dominant, direct. And the other problem is we still are yet to really see Brian and Cunha playing that 2 together. Because yesterday you saw Mount drop back and fit into there, then Brian would push up, but then Brian would drop down and then Cunha would go up there. So there are still questions on that first 11. And I go back to what I've been saying, and I hope to God that they're listening to this. I hope to God Ruben Amorim is sat on the bog at the moment on his lovely expensive house, and he's flicking through YouTube and he's watching this and hearing what I'm saying. Ruben Amorim, do not play De Ligt and Maguire in the same back 3. I personally feel like he knows his back 3. I think we'll see it'll be Lenny Yoro on the right, it'll be Maguire in the centre, and I think it'll be Luke Shaw left-sided centre-back. But we cannot go into that game with the back 3 consisting of Maguire and De Ligt, because we will get torn apart. We will get absolutely torn to pieces. So I do have question marks for how we're going to line up. It's going to be interesting. It's a massive, massive game, regardless of the fact it's the first game of the season. United Arsenal, we have to start strong. And I'll tell you this for free, right? I'll tell you this for free. If Manchester United go into that game with Sesko up top, with the 2 that I've spoken about, with the back 3 not consistent of Maguire, not consistent of Maguire and De Ligt, should I say, and we go and we beat Arsenal, well, then straight away, there's a few teams that will be looking at Manchester United and going, hang on a second, weren't they meant to be shit? Weren't they not meant to be able to play that formation? Amorim's got a lot to do this season. He has got a lot to do. If we bring in Baleba, you have to say that the club has absolutely backed him with the players he wants. And I think Manchester United have to err a side of caution here as to what they expect and what they deem as success from this squad of players. Because again, like I've said to you, without Baleba, it's Europa League or bust for Manchester United. We get Baleba, then there's a conversation that we can push for that top 5 position. But at the moment, there are still so many question marks. And yes, we are still waiting for Lisandro Martinez. And there's talk that he's stepping up his training and he's getting back and he's getting closer. And yes, we all know that he would then be that left-sided centre-back option. Because again, I will say this, what that does to the back 3 then, you have Maguire, who is just the big bastard who wins everything in the air. But you've got Lenny Yoro and you've got Lisandro Martinez, who are 2 footballers. They're not just defenders, they are footballers. They can play the ball out from the back. So again, it takes the team into another gear. But if it goes wrong and we get injuries, well, then we've got more questions. More questions and more issues. What else have we got here? We are building a team for whoever is going to be manager, so not worried. I like that. I like that. Should go on the football terrace with Terry. I don't think I'm big enough for that, Mike. I don't think I'm big enough for that yet. 40 kids. Can we hit 100? Can we hit 100 likes? What are we on with the likes at the moment, people? Let's have a quick look. I haven't even had a look myself yet. We're on 42. Brilliant. Let's get to. If you've not done it yet, hit the like button. Let's get to 50. Donnarumma is a bad egg, not the type of personality we would want. Would much rather get another keeper in. There has been talks about this guy's attitude before, by the way. There has been talks about this. Sometimes it is a case of be careful what you wish for, yeah? If Amorim can't make it work in 2 years, let's get Ancelotti or maybe Xavi. Ancelotti will be 109 by then, niche fan. Honestly, I don't think we get that. I think Amorim has a plan with his system. He needs the right profile of players for the system to start shining. Yeah, I agree. Look, the first 5 games of the season for Manchester United, we're either going to be sat here after 5 games going, what the fuck just happened? Or we're going to be sat there going, oh my God, everything's clicked. All of a sudden, we're pressing people the right way. We're not struggling against a low block. We're actually dominating teams. We're scoring goals. At the moment, I will stick with 7 points from the first 5 games, and that's because we haven't got the midfield sorted. Call me greedy because I said that before we got Sesko, but I still go with 7 points at the moment. What else have we got? United, the complete opposite to us in the transfer window. Think we're a 6th highest seller this window and can barely get anyone in. Wolf is fuming this transfer window. Honestly, he is so angry. Niche fan says, True Geordie said United are back and Newcastle are finished. Yeah, well, I don't take a blind bit of notice to that, man. After what he said live on his stream, I don't take a blind. I used to love that bloke. I don't take a blind bit of notice to him anymore. And yes, big up to you myself. I'll be happy if Amorim. I'll be happy with Amorim if he just starts adjusting his system to win games. Well, look, here's the other thing. I said this the other day. Amorim, for me, has the ability to completely bamboozle the entire fucking league. And I'll tell you how. Everybody is expecting Manchester United in attacking to be 3-4-2-1. In defensive, be 5-3-1-1, if you like. What Amorim should be doing is changing it up. So if things aren't working, we can switch that formation. We switch that formation, players won't have a fucking clue what's hitting them. They genuinely won't. Amorim has got to be cute. He's got to be cute this season. We got dicked and dicked and dicked and dicked and even more dicked week after week last season because the formation didn't work with the players that he's had. Not all those players have gone. There's still a lot of them about. So it's going to be interesting. And it is a big shame with Cassie. It is. Casemiro, honestly, one of the greatest CDMs to have played the game for me. Do you think getting Baleba depends on us selling at least one player? Mike, I don't. The reports are coming that Manchester United apparently do not have to sell before bringing this guy in. And I believe that. Look, at the end of the day, we thought we were skin tossed this summer, and all of a sudden we could have a madness summer. Moxie says my starting 11 would be Binder. I'm not sure about Binder, Moxie. Yoro, Maguire, Shaw, Dello, Mainu, Bruno, Dorgu, Brian, Cunha, Sesko. I'd agree with that, apart from Binder. Honestly, couldn't catch a cold, that bloke. He's fucking horrendous. Imagine if he's actually watching this on the block. Yeah, imagine. And Garner will go for 40. Fair. Mike says, De Ligt over Maguire versus Arsenal. Maguire is not mobile and too slow, but Maguire's good in the air. Maguire's great in the air. And like the stream or 7 years, bad luck. Do it. Just do it. Also, sub if you're new. You've heard the man. Guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the like button. We are doing very, very, very well at the moment. We are climbing. We are growing. It's all because of the work that you guys put in. So make sure you do that for me. And Z says, I don't want Maguire starting. I'm sorry. When he's there, we just panic. I don't know. Z, I panic with De Ligt, you know. I don't think De Ligt suits our system with the back three as well as Maguire does. Look, in an ideal world, and I think we can both agree on this, Z, we'd have a different centre-back there altogether. But unfortunately, with the money we've spent and where we are in trying to turn this team around, that was always going to be a problem that we weren't going to be able to fix this season. But I think, look, I put Maguire there. But look, I take your point. Of course I do. The minimum acceptable position with Baleba is 5th. I bet Sir Jim has told Amorim that. And actually, do you know something, niche fan? I don't think that's a bad comment. I don't think that is a bad comment at all. I don't. If Manchester United get these players in for Amorim, they're going to want him to do things in the league. We can't go with the excuse of, well, these players aren't good enough. You're going to have to do well with these players. Going to have to. The excuses cannot continue. And we've got 79% of you have said you would rather sign Baleba. I'm going to end that poll. That's really telling. Really, really telling. I'm glad it went that way. Liam says, great weekend. The Liverpool lose and Taunton Town win. Hometown non-league club. Up the Peacocks. Yeah, of course. Support non-league. Make sure you follow non-league and make sure you invest in, honestly, non-league. Without non-league, we don't have football. Love that place. Love non-league football. And actually, I will say this quickly about Liverpool game. If anybody fucking caught it, how that was not a penalty was absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And look who's in the house. Everybody. One of the mods, can you put Kev's, in fact, Kev, you're a mod, put your channel in the chat. Kev last night did a fantastic show to celebrate getting 10k subscribers on his channel. It was a really, really good sing-song evening for me. I sat there reminiscing, thinking of some fucking phenomenal songs. And Kev, you blew me away with Creep, by the way. You that, and also you blew me away with Simply Red. Simply Red was stunning. Absolutely incredible. Well done, mate. And congratulations on 10k. It's a big decision not to start Maguire, but the Arsenal strikers are much faster and more mobile. Yeah, but De Ligt, we're talking like De Ligt is quick. I don't think De Ligt's as quick as we make out. The one thing about De Ligt I will say is he is tenacious, but I'm going with Maguire. I understand why you're all saying that, though. That was the 6th highest seller in Europe, by the way, not just in the Prem. We've done so well to get so much money for mainly fringe players, except Elanga. Honestly, Isaac, I worry for Forest at the moment. I don't think in relegation terms, but I think there's a lot of issues there. I do think there's a lot of issues there. Imagine if Sir Jim just walked into Amorim's office and said, you're playing 4-3-3 end of, I'd be happy with that. Let me ask this in the chat. Let me ask you this. I want to do a poll because I think this would be interesting to know from you beautiful people. With the current players, not with the current players, can't type. What formation would you play? I put T too many times there. With the current players, what formation would you play? And we'll go 4-3-3 and we'll go 3-4-2-1. I think this is going to be overwhelming, by the way. Pop it in there. Pop it in there for me, guys. Be interested to see what you think. 4-3-3, everybody speaks about 4-3-3 being the one. And glad to look. Honestly, it was great, Kev. It really was. It was absolutely great. No, we don't need to sell. We've got a war chest and constructor deals over 3 to 5 years, says Niche Fan. And Ahmad says, who are we having, Donnarumma or Lammens? We're going with Lammens. Lammens is the guy. Manchester United fans, please listen to me. Lammens is the guy. For the money, for what this kid can do, I think if we go for Donnarumma, I think it will ruin all the hard work that we've put in this summer in getting the feel-good factor back, in getting the players playing in a way that they absolutely adore each other. The wage structure wouldn't be absolutely pelted at the moment, other than the players like Casemiro, who we know is going, Anthony, Sancho. It's only really Bruno who's on the top end, and the thing you could say to that is he is the captain of the club. Other than that, we shouldn't be breaking our wage budget for anybody. And yes, fucking brilliant singing that for me last night, Kev. Absolute superstar. Heaton needs to start in goal if we fail to get a... Oh, God, Liam, no. Brother, ew. Brother, ew. No. We cannot start Heaton in goal against... Look, I don't hate being there. I don't know the bloke. I don't like being there as our goalkeeper. I don't like Onana as our goalkeeper, but Heaton is 39 years old. It would take me back to the time where David James started in goal for England in the 2010 World Cup, and I thought, we're doomed. We're absolutely doomed. No, Heaton is not the answer there. Guys, I don't know what your thoughts are, but Heaton is not the answer for me in that position. We just can't do that. I think Maguire gives us more of a presence over De Ligt. I agree with that. And with the players we have now, who do you think our best midfield 2 pairing is? Mike, it's a great question. I will stick with what I've been saying for the past few weeks. Fuck me, it's hot. I will stick with what I've been saying for the past few weeks, and I will stand by it. For me, personally, I think the midfield two that we go with is Kobe Mainu and Bruno Fernandes in a double pivot. Allow the attacking players to do what they can do. You've got Dorgu and you've got Dallo or Diallo bombing forward. That's the two, because at the moment, Casemiro will get overrun. He's too old. And Ugarte, nah, absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. Like I said earlier, it depends on whether Donnarumma is willing to fit in with our wage structure. Fair enough. Dan's channel is already growing like overdose Viagra. Oh, dear me. Maguire can get caught out. And look, I'm not here to say that I'm wrong. I'm not here to say that you're wrong. Sorry, Maguire absolutely has errors in him. But I do feel like Maguire on the pitch has the respect to the players around him. I do feel like Maguire on the pitch, when we're in the opposite end and we're going for dead ball, be it free kicks or corners, offers more. By the way, guys, yesterday, Brian Mbeumo, his crossing is begging out for Sesko. I was absolutely taken aback by Brian Mbeumo. The short corners he did, the way he whips that ball into the box, that was crying for a striker. If we'd have had a striker on the pitch yesterday, David De Gea would have conceded more than one. And by the way, big up for David De Gea. It was so fucking beautiful seeing that man back at Old Trafford yesterday. 50 likes now. Let's hit 75. You heard the man, guys. You heard the man. Let's hit those like buttons. There's over 100 of you in here, which means there's a few of you that haven't hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds. And also subscribe if you're new. Andy says, De Ligt and Maguire are both players who have mistaken them. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. But at the moment, we can't replace them. We just can't. So it's going to be 12 months with De Ligt and Maguire, and then next summer we reevaluate. And I think next summer we will start to push and change that defense. And there's the channel, guys. Make sure you go and follow my friend Kev. He's an absolute superstar. We can go with De Ligt, Maguire, and Euro. Midfield should be Ugarte and Bruno. Oof. Well, your name says it. Goodness. We can't be doing Bruno and Ugarte. I respect your opinion, bro, but we can't do that. We'd get pulled apart. Niche fan says, I like De Ligt and Euro, don't like Maguire. That's no problem with that. And hit the likes, as Moxie says. Hit those likes. Absolutely flying, guys. We are absolutely flying. Neil says, still not sure Sesko starts next Sunday as we only have a week, under a week's training with the team. Guys, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Yesterday, playing with the setup that we had at the start of the game was not an accident. Ruben Amorim is absolutely, I can say this with confidence, complete confidence. He is absolutely considering starting next week with that three. Mount, Cunha, and Mbeumo. He's absolutely considering it. There's no way he would have played that in the last game of the season because he'd have chucked Chida Obi up top if that was the case. He wanted to see how those three would perform together. And look, Mount had a really, really good game. And I echo what Moxie said before. But I don't want Mount starting just yet. Mount's looking fitter, but we will need against Arsenal a striker. We will need a bloke up there who can put the ball in the back of the fucking net. We will need someone up there who is a focal point. So, but there is that concern, absolutely. Dan, any idea who Baleba's been playing with in midfield at Brighton? I know they like Bruno. Who has? Let's have a quick look at that. Baleba, midfield partner. Let's have a look. Chat, tell me who he's been playing with the most. I'm just trying to get it on their transfer news. Who has Baleba been? I don't know. I'm not sure. Players need to adjust or leave, says Liam. I agree. Steve says 3-1-4-2. I would play 4-3-3, but I know how much Amorim loves a three at the back and attacking wing backs. Let's have a look how that vote's going at the moment, by the way. It's very fucking hell. It's very close, chat. It's very close. Only 47 votes, though. So we are on 53% are happy to stick with 3-4-2-1, 47 4-3-3. Get your votes in, okay? I want to know what your thoughts are. What is with the current players, what formation would you play? Be interesting to see what that is. We don't want another player who thinks he's bigger than the club. Yeah, I agree. Formation uses Sesko as a spearhead, and in midfield, we must have the strong players best from the squad. Players we have 3-2-4-1 would be better. Heaton is a better... Guys, Heaton is not a better option. I can't do this. I can't do this. Honestly. We can't start Heaton up top. We definitely can't fucking start him up top. Let me have a drink from the bottle a second. Let me see if this changes. Nah, we can't start Heaton in goal, guys. We can't. Isaac says the same. Heaton's definitely not the answer. Probably your best. No! Fuck it. I'm getting that off. I'm getting it off. He can't. He just can't. I'm more concerned about beating Palace rather than Liverpool. Palace are looking good, but Palace, if they lose a couple of players, I think they'll struggle. Lammens is risky. Donnarumma is world class, so it's very tough. Lammens could become like David De Gea or Massimo Taibi. We just don't know. Well, the thing with Lammens, please remember this, had the highest penalty save ratio in world football last season. Also, we have scouted this guy for the last 12 months. I think it's 18 months, actually. So it's not like Manchester United have just picked this guy out of a hat. Ever since we've been linked, I've been looking at loads of stuff with him. I think this guy could be insanely good. I genuinely do. Kev with the super chat. Thanks for the doorstep song request. Share the YouTube revenue. Absolutely, Kev. We need a beer soon, though. We need a beer soon, mate. We absolutely do. What else have we got here? Dorgu, Mainu, Bruno, Ahmad. Okay. I think Donnarumma will take a pay cut just to play. Jamie, I disagree. I genuinely disagree. I don't think Donnarumma takes a pay cut to come to Manchester United. Two reasons with that. The first reason being it's Donnarumma. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He's won the Champions League. He's won the Euros. He has capped a lot of times for Italy. He's got a lot of domestic honours as well. He will not take a pay cut. His what am I thinking here? Not arrogance, but his character will not allow him to do that. His agent wouldn't let him do that either. The second thing is, I genuinely feel like he doesn't think he has to play. He will sit on the bench for a season, and again I'll delve into that even more. You've got me with this one, Jamie. He knows if he forgoes one season sitting on the bench, next season his contract is up. He can then go to whatever club he wants, ask for whatever money he wants, and get a big fucking payday. He knows, and that is the game now with the modern day footballer. We see it so much where these players will run their contracts down and go, it's okay, I'll get a big fucking sign-on for it. I'll sit here for a year. It's why I keep saying we should extend Sancho's contract, because we've got that option. Put it in his court. Say, well, absolutely fine. You say you want to sit here for 1 year doing fuck all. You can sit here for 2 years, mate. You need to leave this club. And we will see Sesko against him, absolutely. We'll see it. We'll see Sesko against Arsenal. No problem about that. The fan base here seems to prefer Amorim's system in the poll. I'm in the minority, fair enough. Brighton says we need Baleba very fast for Arsenal match. That won't happen, though, Brighton. The thing with that, guys, is the Baleba deal won't happen this week. There's no way that deal happens this week. For me, this is going to be one that rumbles on for the next 3 weeks, okay? As a minimum. Not as a minimum, as a maximum, sorry. We will have to wait. This will be like a game of tennis. Yes, and if you have just joined the chat, Manchester United apparently have agreed terms with the player, with his agent. That isn't a problem. The length of the contract, all done. It's now about if Brighton are willing to let a player go that they deem extremely important for the project this season a year early, because they have already said next season, no problem. This season, we don't have people that can replace him just yet. So this will ramp up and this will roll on. Don't think it won't, because it bloody will. I'm telling you. And Moxie with the super chat. Thank you so much, Moxie. I really appreciate that. From an OG on Dan's road to 1.5K. Moxie has been with me since day one. A lot of the people in this chat have, and I absolutely love and adore you all. Thank you very much, Moxie. Much appreciated, my friend. What else have we got here? I'm trying to get through these comments because it's Sunday night, guys. Sunday night is your night. I like to answer as many questions as you have. So pop them in the chat and I'll get through them as quick as I can. Where are we? So Z says, Sesko been training individually at Leipzig? Not the entire time, though, Z. People have been saying this, not the entire time. He trained individually for the last 3 days he was there. Other than that, he was training normally. He was in the squad. He was training with them fine. So I don't think he's as far away as people think. I don't know where Bruno plays now. Bruno will play in that midfield too. Here's a scenario. Okay, here's a scenario. Let me ask you this. Let me take a sip first. Let me take a sip. Is there a scenario where Baleba comes and the reports are that he wants Baleba and Mainoo to forge this beautiful partnership? Is there a scenario where Bruno just isn't cutting it? Cunha and Brian are doing fantastic in front of him, and we end up pulling Bruno away from the team. Because I said this I should get a fucking t-shirt saying this. I always say this. I said this a few weeks ago, but I did say this a few weeks ago. If it doesn't go well for Bruno this season, I absolutely can see him going in January. I absolutely can see that. I could see him going in January to the Saudis if it's not going very well. I do. Ugarte Bruno is basically letting them run through the midfield. I agree with that, niche fan. Completely agree. I reckon we'll get Branthwaite next summer. Yeah. Okay. That's a next summer conversation. But Ben, I appreciate what you're saying there. And it would be a great signing, by the way. And Akko says, I'm still waiting for another miracle before Wednesday. Who was that guy, that United fan that was a Rasmus song? That was a Rasmus fan. What song was it he was singing? I'm waiting on a miracle to come. Get that song up, Akko. Honestly, that'll make you feel better. Whiffer, what are you on about? What are you on about? Ben, I've lost where you are there, mate. You seriously can't play Onana ahead of Heaton, says Liam. Well, I think we can, and it might happen. Liam, I appreciate what you're saying, though. Look, I appreciate. Do you know what? Moxie comes straight in there with. I respect your opinion, Liam. I do, but I just genuinely don't see a world where Heaton starts for Manchester United. If Amorim can get Bruno to be more disciplined in position, that'll be a great benefit to our midfield. And Mike, you make a fantastic point here, by the way. We're all writing Bruno off. We could go and get a Baleba in, and it could free up Bruno to be at his creative best. Bruno, I've said this all along, in this midfield too, all he needs to do is be a deep lying playmaker. That's all he needs to do. Allow the boys ahead to do the work for you. He can spray a pass like no one I've seen. He is phenomenal at that. He can do that. His days of having to go forward all the time are done. He doesn't need to. He needs to do something for the good of the team. The goalkeeper options are limited, says Milton. Where are we at with the poll? Okay, so I'm going to end the poll here. 55% of you have said, 56 have said stick with 3-4-2-1. That is closer than I thought. I thought that we would be looking at around about 70% 4-3-3. Andy says it was great to see De Gea yesterday, so we could have that goodbye from the fans. I agree. I do agree. Moxie, he is better than Onana and being there. Wow. Jan Ronaldo says, sorry, late to the party. What's the Baleba update? If you are late to the party, the update is as follows. Baleba apparently, coming from some reports, has agreed terms with Manchester United. That is not the issue. The agent thing is all done. It's now about trying to get the clubs to agree that fee. Whether or not that happens anytime soon, this is where we'll find out. Formation 3-4-3 or 4-3-3. Fair. Donna probably goes to Saudi. Yeah, again, this is the thing. Like, everyone's sort of getting gassed about Donnarumma to United. I still think he ends up there as well. Tom Heaton is good, but his age is a huge risk, especially against prolific goal scorers. I agree with that. I'll tell you who we haven't seen in the chat tonight. We haven't seen Wahaha. I hope Wahaha is okay. I haven't seen him in the chat. Unless he's being quiet. Has anybody heard of Wahaha? Goalkeeper, only 2 to choose from. And yeah, you are a legend, Kev. Baleba will get done near the end of the window, sadly. Look, this is something that we have to definitely acclimatise ourselves to. Let's have a look at what games are there. Hang on, I'll bring them up. Let me bring them up on the screen. Fixtures. How many games are there before the end of the transfer window? Let me share my screen, guys. This will be interesting. This will be interesting for you. Right, here we go. So this is United. I'll check if I need to zoom in for you first. Yeah, definitely need to zoom in there. It'd be a bit harsh to expect you guys to see that. Right. Okay, so that should be a bit better for you. So United against Arsenal, 17th of August. Fulham, 24th. Burnley, the 30th. Okay, so then it's international break. So Manchester United could potentially be 3 games without Baleba if we get him. If we get him. What a game for him to come back to start for United against. Man City away and then Chelsea at home. I think looking at the fixtures that we've got, chat, I think obviously the Arsenal game's a tough one, but I think Manchester United are quite chill with this because Fulham away. Fulham haven't re-signed anyone this summer. And Burnley, Mark Goldbridge's favourite fucking team. He's made a living out of Burnley, that bloke has. I think Manchester United are chilled. I do. The big games are coming up, aren't they? Man, so what's the game after Chelsea? Then Brentford away. I got some bad news for you all about the Brentford game. I won't be doing a watch-along for that because I will be in Butlins at an 80s weekend. So I won't be there for that one. Sorry. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I think Manchester United are chill about this with the first 3 games of the season. I genuinely do. And yes, good night. It's me, Everest. Hope you're well. And as he said, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. And yeah, Ugarte is so bad. He really is. Liam says, Fernandes, Casemiro, sentiment partnership is suicide. I agree with that, Liam. I absolutely agree with that. I think that midfield partnership would be an absolute horror story. Jamie says, would there be a scenario that we sell Ahmad because he's not a great right wing back? Jamie brings a great comment up, by the way, there. Chat, I want to know. In fact, actually, I feel a poll coming on with this because I've already made my mind up on this. I've made my mind up on this. Who starts right wing back versus Arsenal? Diallo or Dallo? Who starts the first game of the season at right wing back? Diallo or Dallo? Because I've got my opinions on this. Got my opinions on this. I tell you, I've not been impressed with Diallo. I have not been impressed with Diallo at right wing back. And I don't know whether it's because he just doesn't suit that style of play there or what. But I actually think that Dallo has performed a lot. I think we've looked a lot better with Dallo at right wing back than we have with Diallo. I think Dallo could forge a really good relationship with Brian on that side, that cam side. I'm not as and Diallo is young, so I'm not concerned in that aspect. But I think there's a world we see Dallo play a lot more football at right wing back than Diallo this season. And there's nothing wrong with that if you don't agree, by the way. But I just don't think he's not impressed me. He's not impressed me. I get you now, Neil. Yeah, sorry about that, Ben. I do apologise, mate. I do apologise. I keep telling people that Ahmad isn't a wing-back. Yeah, do you know something, Niche fan? You've been saying that for weeks, to be fair. If Amorim starts that midfield of Casemiro and Bruno versus Arsenal, he may as well resign. Fuck it, honestly. The only thing I can think of is that maybe, just maybe, that was Oasis and that was terrible. Kev's definitely not going to have me singing it his house now with that. Maybe he was resting Mainu. That's the only thing I can think about. That's the only thing I can think about. And yeah, I agree with that. Steve says Amorim is trying to get the midfield more involved, Dan, by playing 2 left-footed players wide right and 2 right-footed players wide left to move more in midfield. He's trying to get Bruno involved. Steve, I haven't looked like that. You've definitely deeped that, son. Vitat, yeah, he did have a good game yesterday. Did have a good one. Liam, blah, 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 what we got? Not heard of him tonight, but Kev was singing his name last night. Honestly, I really wanted Wahaha to be in the chat tonight. I really wanted Wahaha to be in the chat tonight because of the Spandau Ballet song. Is it gold, Ben? Wahaha, Wahaha. Fucking class that is. Newcastle making a defensive signing. Honestly, where's Newcastle's strikers? That's what I want to know. And 3 games without him is fine. So, okay, 7 points from the first 3 games. How many points, guys? How many points do you think we'll get from the first 5 games? We did this a few weeks ago, but that was without Sesko. How many points do you think Manchester United will get in the first 5 games? I'm sticking with 7. However, with Baleba, I would up that to 10 points. I think we could get 10 with Baleba. I genuinely do. How many points do you see Manchester United? Fucking hell, Niche fan. Fucking hell, mate. Come on. Come on. Oh, dear me. I think 10 if we got Baleba in. I do. 100% Dallo, says Ben. Yeah, Arsenal is the toughie before the first international break. Hopefully, we can find a way past Fulham and Burnley. I don't think Fulham have signed anyone, have they? Cat, have Fulham signed anybody? I'm not as concerned with Fulham as I was last season. Niche fan says I'd love Isak to come just to piss off the Geordies after what's happened. Fuck, we would not be able to sign Isak. Mind you, saying that, if we hadn't have gone in for Sesko and not Baleba, we could have, but he wouldn't have come to us anyway. No chance. Ahmad will come on as a sub for Brian as a 10 against Arsenal, potentially. That depends if we plan to absorb pressure or if we believe we can go toe to toe. Do you know something, Juan Ronaldo? I'm telling, and Manchester United fans, I want you to listen in on this one. We cannot go into the season thinking we're the underdogs. Okay, regardless of the fact we know that we're coming off the worst season we've ever had. We cannot go into games already rolling over. We have to go into games believing that we can compete and that we can do bits. I think Manchester United will shock a lot of teams this season. I genuinely do. This is the problem. We play a system where the wing-back role are integral to the system, and we've only really got Dorgu. Right wing-back is massively lacking. Dorgu, by the way, smash a like on the video for Dorgu. Dorgu has been fucking brilliant in pre-season. I've been really impressed with him. Moxie says 9 or 10 points. Mike says 8. Chappie, I feel like, right, Chappie, I'm gonna find you, right? I feel like I need to find you and I need to give you a big hug. Come on. Chin up. Come on. First game of the season soon. Come on. You know I love you, Chappie. You know I love you. In fact, you know something, Chappie? Just because you are always one of the first people on the stream. I can't believe I haven't done this sooner. This might cheer you up, mate. That might cheer you up a bit. You deserve that, mate. You deserve that. But please cheer up. Please. We do need to play our game. Jamie says it was good to have a right and left-footed players for the set piece. That is a very good point. Manchester United yesterday at their set pieces deliveries were night and day from where they were last season. And that's because we had different people that could put the ball in. No longer are we going to rely on Bruno Fernandes to be on everything. And when I say everything, I mean throw-ins, goal kicks, everything. Now we've got players that can do it from different sides. There you go. No problem, Chappie. No problem. And we are a Patrice Evra away from 75. There's 81 of you in this chat. Smash the like for me now. Let's get that 75 likes now. Hit it, please. Hit that button. I hate making this point, but doesn't anyone think that Mbeumo looks a little out of shape, or is it just my paranoia? It's just your paranoia. There was two. Sorry, that was aggressive. There was 2 moments yesterday, Neil, that for me, I was like, oh, damn. And that was a ball played forward, and he absolutely had the defender on toast. His pace was incredible. He was gone. I think Brian will be fine. I genuinely feel like Brian will be fine. I think we've got ourselves a phenomenal footballer there. Niche fan, it was edited. They're not real pictures. They were doctored pictures. Don't honestly buy into that. He's fit. He's fine. And we are 3 likes away from 75. Hit that for me, guys. We are very close to full agreement on personal terms with Baleba. Personal terms aren't the issue, Andreas. We've done that. It's just the look at this. I love this. I was on there. Do you know something? I'll share this. This is brilliant. This is fucking brilliant. Are you ready for this? Let me share my screen. I was on a Brighton fan channel before the show, and one of them's not happy because I'm getting excited about United, and it's calling me a plastic. Let's have a look at this. Let me bring this up for you. This is why I love doing this. Best wind up so far. Get the United plastics excited, then knock them down with the truth. Would have been more believable if you'd have quoted 150 million, as there is so little time to get a replacement. Brighton fans, honestly, this guy's talking as if Brighton have never had their best players taken away from them. They had fucking Pedro taken this season. It's just, I love that. Best wind up so far. Get the United plastics excited. What should we put back? We'll put back. What should we put back, chat? Come on, give me something. What should we put back? Excited. We are going to win the league. We'll do that. Let's see if we get a bite. Let's see if we get a bite with that, guys. Let's see if we get a bite. Do you reckon we get a bite with that? Oh, fucking hell, honestly. Honestly, it makes me laugh. And Gary Neville away from 75. Peeps, make sure you're hitting those likes. And Forest Jed Spence away from 75. He was quality at Forest. Was it Forest? Yeah, it was Forest who got promoted, wasn't it? Rooney always looked a bit chunky. He was world class. I love that comment, Mike. What fee do you think it would take to get Brighton to sell Baleba? I'll tell you now, it'll be 100 million. It'll be 100 million, but I think we can do it with add-ons. So I think we'd maybe be able to do the 80 with 20, maybe 90 with 10. But Brighton are very, very good. They're very, very good at getting the money they want for their players. So, like I said, this isn't going to be a Sesko deal where we go, well, look, he fucking wants us. Christopher Vavell knows him. He's known him for years. This will be a case of we're going to have to work and work and work to get this deal done. 100%. Why don't we find out who Brighton have got lined up to replace Baleba and get them in as well, and get them in ASAP? That'd be hilarious. Dan, you should ring Wolfie up for that Twitter comment. The king of rage, mate. I know. Wolfie's been very quiet with me actually. He's been very quiet. I hope he's all right. And 100 definitely he'll be better than Caicedo. Yeah, there we go then, guys. Just quickly, actually, before we finish, Sancho. News on Sancho. Roma have asked about the cost of signing Jadon Sancho, like it's fucking not already out there for the world to fucking hear. This evening, so apparently they have made contact with Manchester United about bringing Sancho in. I don't know why, but I do see Sancho playing for a team like Roma. The only thing I would say is Sancho with their ultras, if he's playing shit, he'd be up shit's creek without a paddle. And of course, the other thing as well, we know that Rasmus Højlund is essentially, he's been told officially now that he can leave the club to find minutes. He is not part of the plans for Manchester United. And I'm going to say this, it's a heavy heart. It is a heavy heart with Rasmus because like him or don't like him, this kid loves Manchester United. And we can never differentiate away from that. He loves the club. He's a Manchester United fan. It just hasn't worked out. For me, the more that you guys spoke to me about it, I started to think it as well. Would it have been worth sending him out on loan and getting him a year firing to bring him back? I don't know, but it's going to happen soon. He will go at AC Milan, I think. Andy says, would still like to know where we have got the money from these transfers. It's me, Andy. I'm the one. I'm Mrs. Robinson. This is the reason Mrs. Robinson hasn't been on a holiday for 4 years. It's because I've been putting the money in there. I'm joking, of course. We're going on holiday soon. Is there anything about Garnacho and Anthony? Jamie, the only thing with Garnacho and Anthony is we know that Chelsea are waiting. That apparently some sources saying that Chelsea have to sell players before bringing them in. But I think that'll be another one that will be done right at the end of the transfer window. The Anthony one is interesting because I don't know if you've seen, but Isco has got an injury, which means I think he's out for 3 months, which means now I think this puts Real Betis in a situation where they have to bring a player in. Is this a case of they'll go out there and pay the money for Anthony? I don't know. 2 more likes. Come on, guys. We need 2 more likes to hit 75 likes. Can we do that while we're live on stream? Whilst I'm having a look, let's just have a quick look at where we are with the vote. So the vote at the moment, 65% of you want Diallo to start over Dallo against Arsenal. The people have spoken. I personally want Dallo, but this is why we do this. This is a fan channel. This is why we do this, because I'm interested to hear your opinions. And I actually think, niche fan, definitely not. There is no world where Anthony fits back into this team. There's no world. Like, where does he fit? He's not taking the place of Brian and Cunha in the 10 role. He ain't getting in above Dallo and Diallo. It's done, mate. It's done. It's done. There are hundreds of wingers at Chelsea. Yes, there are, Jamie. You're right there. We can go in with a respectable bid, which is 90 million plus add-ons, and spread it over a 3 to 4 year period. But we don't want to do this. What we don't want to do is send in a disrespectful bid or wait for next season. Absolute facts there. 223 million euros. Fuck me. And we can't. And we're struggling to sell one of the players. And Moxie says, and do you know what, Moxie, you say it perfectly. Right, people, are MUFC for tonight. Baleba Brigade, oot. And I'm going to leave it there as well, guys. I will see you all at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. It's been a fucking phenomenal show. Thank you all for joining. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on the way out. Brian Brigade, Benjamin Brigade, Baleba Brigade, Dan United, oota! Happy